on top of that, it was just a lot. Football was tough, and it's you don't want to. Are you gonna play? Am I not gonna play? Long story short, ended up going back to Springfield for my sophomore year and switched over to general studies, which is like essentially liberal arts. But I was able to kind of customize my degree how I wanted to be. I would still take classes in exercise science like anatomy phys, exercise physiology, kinesiology, because I still had an interest in that. But I'd also worked myself into some criminal justice courses, and I also worked in some business courses because they're always good to have: business ethics, business communication, personal finance. I wanted to ready myself for life as well in case I had the entrepreneur hair ever sprout up on my back. I was kind of have a little bit of a background on that too. So kind of finished with, what I finished was general studies, and because for law enforcement you don't need a criminal justice degree. From what everyone says, you just need a 4-year degree or a 2 degree depending on where you're applying. And I didn't want to be just criminal justice with no other experience in anything else.
Yeah, I think I've kind of taken, like I went to college and I did that whole thing, and I really think going forward, like you said, being more well-rounded on some stuff is beneficial, because I find, like I have a couple, younger people that work here, and they're, still kind of, or interning, they're going through college, and it's always the same thing, like what am I going to do next? Like you were probably 20, well after the end of your freshman year, you're probably 19, 20?
Yeah, 19.
Yeah, so you're starting to look at, like, what do I want to do? Like, at 19, to me, you don't really know anything that you want to do. Like, you might have an idea. Like, you had kind of a general idea where you go, but probably wasn't banking. You know what I mean? And it gets to the point where you evolve as a person. You get different interests, or opportunity, unveils itself. But I find that somebody that's well-rounded and, like you said, having some more kind of life skills versus, to me, going to, like, I would have done if I could go back, I would have done high school and college, or lack of college, much different, meaning like, more, because I think what a lot of people lack coming out of high school and college is personal financing, budgeting, understanding, compound interest, understanding, mortgages, understanding, health insurance, understanding all these things that life just springs at you when you become our age. And
sure,
I think the fact that you said that, you kind of came out with a very kind of, I'd say kind of like a broad degree, because you took a lot of different things.
Yeah, that's a great term for it.
But it made you very well-rounded. And to me, I think it's very good to have a lot of knowledge in a lot of aspects, like especially in the job you have now. I bet you that's helped tremendously, because you can talk about a lot of things. So like right now, if you take, like I said, business development, I have an idea of what that is, and I think we were kind of talking before, but like everything is very much changed from what you originally went for, like law enforcement or even exercise. And we'll touch on that in a sec. But so like for you, like what we kind of talked about, like a day in the life, but like what do you do on a daily? And me, everything you can encompass all of this, but like also talking about your kind of the position you're in now and kind of the goal of it, because I know a position like that, you are meeting a lot of people, and you're out there, you're a very public person at that point.
Right, and I meet a ton of people right now, day in and day out, and a lot of skills, and you can attest to this, I think anyone can, but especially when we were going back in school in 2010, it was a huge push for everyone to go to college. You gotta go to college, you gotta go to college, you gotta go to college, get a good job. Mm-hmm. If you don't go to college, you'll never get a good job. You can come out, and it was kind of frowned upon, graduation. They made you feel, they made it seem frowned upon if you came out at graduation, so-and-so workforce.
Yeah, exactly.
That was kind of looked down upon. But now, take that person who was, real quick in the workforce and learned the trade of a plumbing or an electrician or a carpenter, or a painter, and now they've gained valuable life skills. They worked on, they're 4 years ahead on working on their own budget, as we talked about, and we'll talk about that in a sec, because I do those as presentations. They're on their own now. They're paying their own rent. They're doing a lot of these things that you're going to school for 4 years. You're kind of procrastinating some of those life skills. And some of us come out with, and I will be the first to admit, I didn't come out with the best degree, but I kind of made it work for myself. We'll go to St. Lawrence because it's a prestigious university for $55,000 a year. Not get that much in scholarships, and then I'm paying off student loans, so I'm 45 because I'm just an English teacher. or I'm a math teacher, or something like that. But, you can do that at a lot cheaper of a place. Each institution has their own, specialty, but, the life skills you can learn coming out in the workforce, I think is really going to start coming back. Because it's just needed, because a lot of skill and trade jobs there's a super spike, because I talk to these type of businesses every day, the local businesses, they can't find good people. Someone who wants to show up every day at 9 o'clock or 8:30, and if you're supposed to be here at 8 at 9, but you're showing up at 9:10, and you've got a Starbucks donut and cup in your hand, and they're like, hey, what's going on? We start at 9:10, or we start at 9. Sorry, the line at Starbucks was long. I didn't expect it to be that long. It's like, that's kind of how that generation has evolved into. But if you're, bought into a different way, you're much better off.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head when you talk about like trades, plumbing, electric.
They're back.
Well, if I knew 10 years ago, I would have gone to like CV Tech and learned a trade, because I look at it now, like at least my degree, like I got my license to sell real estate when I was in college. I've been doing this for a long time.
Yep.
But I didn't need college for what I'm doing now. And the other thing is like, I wish I would have known plumbing, electrical, carpentry, just for future stuff. Like I own an apartment. I mean, I'd like to get more. Like it'd be cool to, if I had to, fix that or do stuff in my house. But the amount of people that have a plumbing or in the plumbing trade, the electric trade, those guys are all retiring right now. They're going to be retiring, and
they are.
You're seeing a lot of them. They're in their 40s, 50s, 60s, maybe even 70s. I know a couple guys that do that taping. They're really good, and they're really good at what they do, but they're retiring. There's nobody to fill in that gap, or the demand for that gap, because that demand is, I believe, going to increase even more, because people, I don't have the skill for that, so I'm hiring out. Well, if there's a bunch of people like me that never grew up doing it, and there's a limited amount that are doing it, just, again, the supply and demand is going to not be good. So I think trade, anybody out there is a young kid, if you don't want to go to, you don't know what you want to do at college, if you don't want to me, if you're not going for a professional degree, meaning you need it, like an attorney, a doctor, a teacher, something like that, if you're going to go my profession, your profession, I don't think you need did you need a degree for yours?
No.
Yeah,
no,
so,
absolutely not.
And I think a lot of the stuff, it's like, if you don't know, worst case to me, go in, do a trade. Or if you really don't want to know and you want to go to college or whatever, I think your best thing is just shadow a bunch of companies, a bunch of people. Like I think, I have a couple. I got one girl right now who's in college and she wants to do real estate. And she's like well beyond her years. She's very very driven. But she's shadowing me to learn real estate, and it's like she's gonna get so much out of that compared to just going and sitting in a room reading a textbook. And, I'm hoping, kind of what you alluded to before, like to go to college, to spend all that money and get into so much debt. So when you come out at 21, 22, you have $50, $100, $150,000 worth of debt. And it's like you said, that's a mortgage payment that you're paying off for 30 years. And it's insane the amount of people that come out, what I would say, behind, meaning you're already owing, where, I was lucky enough I didn't have that, but I also had the wherewithal to, kind of what you said, your parents had told you, like, you don't need to go to a fancy special college. I went to Plattsburgh State, saved money. I don't have any student loans right now, and that has put me in a position we talked about before. Like, I have an apartment building because I'm not paying student loans, and I think that's, I agree 100% with what you just said. I think I hope education going forward is going to evolve into more trades, more courses, more 1-year specialty schools, or you maybe go away or you go to, I don't know, you live in Albany for a year, but you take a special course on finance or on real estate or on, banking, and just immerse yourself and shadow and learn, and then you can go right into a business and excel at it.
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest thing really is, for kids, if you're coming out of school or high school and you don't know what to do, just don't feel the need to go to school. Just start gaining experience somewhere. Start gaining real world experience. Start meeting people, because every person you meet, and it's so big in my profession, has their own network. Everyone you meet has their own contacts and has their own kind of umbrella of people that they know, and then it kind of goes off from there. And what we were just talking about, what you just alluded to, is I was just visiting a business today, and this kid was working on a skidder, which is, for logging and stuff. And this is a big piece of machinery. And, I was talking to them, and because they were working, and, I drop in, and he's just like, how old are you, man? He goes, 17. And he was up to his elbows in grease and really working on, he's a senior in school still, and gets half of his day out, and he's only spent a little bit of time in school, but he's out learning this type of job skill right now at 17. I wouldn't know the first place to start if I'm looking to, dive into this piece of machinery real quick right here. Could I tell you roughly how to change a tire? Because it'd be similar to a car, yes, but they're changing like valves and things like that. And on that same line, someone who goes into plumbing at 17, 18 years old, goes in a couple of years, opens up their own business, becomes an entrepreneur at 24. Listen, you and I both know, everyone listening knows, the North Country winters, have your pipes freeze at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock on a Sunday night when it's minus 20 out and you have no water. And you know what? You're a homeowner and you need to get that fixed because you need to look out for your family. Well, that's not going to be a little bill when that person's done coming to your house at 8 o'clock on a Sunday night when it's that cold or that time of the year at that hour on that day. That's going to be a pretty penny that you're going to pay to have someone come out there and fix that. And guess what? That person who came out here and fixed that didn't go get a 4-year degree. They learned valuable life lessons right out of high school. They learned a trade, and now they're excelling at their trade. They did their time. They paid their dues, which a lot of people, especially younger adults, don't. They feel that sense of entitlement. But you're 19, 20. Shadow someone like you were talking about. Shadow, be an apprentice. Get an apprenticeship and be a. I don't know if it's a foreman, if that's the person who's just kind of out. They're not in charge yet, but you're just out going to jobs and fixing jobs, and then, who knows? A couple of years you can open up your own thing, and then that person who had this. Granted, I get it. You need the degree for a doctor, some lawyer at different things, but it's like, hey, yeah, man, I didn't go get an education, but here's your tab for my past 2 hours on this Sunday night fixing your pipes.
Yeah. I think trades are phenomenal. I think if you can do it, and I've told a lot of people that. I've done. I do a couple career. Actually, they're coming up in the next couple of weeks. A couple career fairs for just I think one's more for the high school and one's more elementary. But when I go for the ones the kids are doing high school, like no offense, there's not many kids that are like, I want to do real estate in high school, and I totally get it. I was 100% on that boat at the time. But a lot of these kids, I'm like, hey, what are you doing after school? And someone's like, I don't know. I said, I'm a senior. I said, oh, you going to college? You join the workforce? Like, what are you doing? Like, well, I don't really want to go to college. And I'm always like, okay, go learn a trade. Like, the first thing I tell kids is, like, 1, don't go into debt, and 2, go learn a trade. Like, be smart. Like, if you need to go to college or want to go to college, like, Plattsburgh State is actually a very good school. And I get it. Some kids want to move away, and that's a great experience, as you can, probably attest to. But the idea that you can go and come out of a job and get right to, making money versus paying somebody off now in the form of debt, you're well beyond and on your way to great things. I think I know it's kind of cliche thing to say, but it really is who you know, not what you know. I mean, you do need to know some stuff, but God, some of my best business. Now, granted, I have knowledge to back it up, but I'm not getting in the door without knowing people. You know what I mean? And that's, I think, a lot of people, especially in our industry, and I know when you talk to so many people, it's like, it helps to have connections with people, or also, kind of have a personal level where you can have a connection that's not just business. Because I'm very big on, like, when you go to the networking events, I very rarely talk business. I usually we talk about whatever.
Talk about whatever.
Yeah. So I guess
sometimes people don't want to talk about business. They talk about their business all day, and you know what? It's a lot of, at the end of the day, it's at these like we at business after hours and different things that we do. It's, hey, I just want to unwind. Hey, how's the kids, man? How are they doing? Yeah, how Little League, how's it going? First couple games, that's I saw on Facebook your kid had a no-hitter the other night. But that's how in business, that's how business comes is, people do business with people they like.
Yeah, 100%. Like and trust.
Yeah, like and trust. If I am aware of you, I then have to like you, and then I have to trust you, and then I'm going to try whatever you have.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to try it because I like you and I trust you. I'm not just going to meet you on the street and say, hey, check out this product. This is, going to make you a $500, extra $500 this week if you just post about it on social media one time.
Yeah.
All right, man, that sounds cool, but I don't really know you, so I'm not gonna really do that.
Yeah.
Or if you take your best buddies, like, hey, bro, this right here, I'm telling you, this is making extra $500 this week.
Real deal.
Just post this once, dude. I'm in.
Yeah.
Because I like you, I know you, and I trust you. You know, I don't trust you, so I mean, you could be walking around in a flashy suit and look like you have all this money. Who knows? But I trust you, so I'm gonna try you.